Hello, welcome to the channel. So today we have 12 months ownership of this Tiger 900 GT Pro. Don't think it's actually to the day. If that sounded like it was to the day, apologies. But today is all about the ownership of this motorcycle for 1 year. So just to carry on from my 1 month ownership, and then the 6 month, and now obviously the 12 month. What's my thoughts on servicing costs, general ownership of the motorcycle, and what I feel about it? Well, I'm very happy with it. I've always been happy with the bike itself. No major issues. The only drama I've been having really ongoing is the connectivity, which seems to be a problem, but I've got there in the end with both Cardo I had before and now Edge Cardo. So finally got both systems working, and at the moment everything seems stable with this Edge. So if you have comms, communications, headsets, I can only comment for Cardo, what I've had, but I've managed to have both the Cardo, Bold and the Edge working with the Triumph. I did have some dealership updates on the bike, and that seemed to improve the connectivity for the Edge. So if you do have an Edge Cardo unit, you may need to take the bike to the dealership to have some updates. The only other sort of ongoing issue I've had is with the front of the bike, around the wheel area. When I slow maneuver or just manhandle the bike in and out of the garage, there's a groaning, weird groaning sound. I've mentioned it before on other videos if you've seen those before. And the bike is booked in to have some more diagnostics or investigations on it. They have had a look before, couldn't find anything wrong with it, couldn't even hear the groaning noise. So that's Murphy's Law, isn't it? Book it in with the dealership, the mechanics take a look at it and they can't find it. So it's booked in again. This warranty is 2 years on the bike, and it's due to expire July this year, so I must get everything sorted out before the warranty expires. When I say get everything sorted out, basically that issue I've just mentioned, and also the heat coming from the vents, from the ventilation on the sides of the bike. The left one just seems to be hotter. Granted, I do actually drive and ride in a hot climate. Today is not too bad, it's only 25 degrees presently, so not overly hot, and I'm not really feeling any heat as yet off these fans here and here, but I have noticed of late this left knee of mine getting hotter. So I will ask the dealership, the mechanics, to take a look at that one when it's in for its warranty check over. I had a slight brake issue on the rear brake, which was an easy fix really, nothing to do with the actual Triumph brand as such. This bike has Brembo brakes, and the rear brake, which is a common issue I suppose, they began squealing and screeching and just making a noise, squealing. I did get some branded, it's called, I think, Disc Brake Quiet, I think it's called. Not sure of the brand actually. And it worked a treat. It's called Disc Brake Quiet. Just put that on the rear, give the rear of the brake pads a clean, a wipe down, put some of that Brake Quiet product on, and let it go tacky, then inserted them. Not had an issue with the brake since on the rears, so they don't squeal anymore. And that's basically been my gripes with the bike, so I can't really say I've had any major issues. Servicing costs, I've had, it was serviced, this bike was not bought brand new, it was second hand. The guy had had the first main service done, and that was it. then it was due its second service, I think. I think he had a second service done, and then I've had the 20,000, so they're every 10,000 kilometers, Auto. They're every 10,000 Auto. Sorry about that. Every 10,000 kilometers, this bike is to be serviced. So it's just recently had the 20,000 kilometer one, which is a really big one for checking things over. And no issues. The only issue was that it cost me 1,156 Australian dollars. So I don't know, not exactly a cost efficient service, let's say, but it had to be done. The bike itself, it's excellent to commute on. I do go on, to work occasionally on the bike, and yeah, what do you expect? It's only going on short runs. The bike can cope to that, no problems. It's very easy to handle. Is this bike, I've mentioned before, it's exceedingly comfortable and easy to maneuver the bike as well. So in traffic, not a problem. I don't particularly filter in lanes, so I just stay as I am. I ride the bike like I'm in a car, basically. For riding further afield, not a problem. The bike just chews up the miles. Very good. I went on a small tour. If you check out the last 3 videos from this one, 3-part episodes, to a ride with me and my friend going down to Donnybrook. So if you haven't seen those, please check them out. And the bike did not miss a beat. So for long tours, I think I did just under 1,000 kilometers on the bike and no problems. 2 up, this bike can do 2 up with no issues as well. Had my wife on the back a couple of times and she's been exceedingly comfortable, sat on the back, and got used to the rear, which is not on there today, the actual backrest or the top box. But Catherine had no issues once she'd settled and got used to how high that top box is for a backrest. But once she got used to it, she said she was comfortable. So good for pillion riders. The looks of the bike, it's very nice looking. I do have people complimenting how nice the bike is, and when I stop up to places, they'll come up and have a chat, so that's nice. Everything works well. Like I say, the cruise control, that's a godsend. That's awesome. Set and forget with that pretty much. It does have a quick assist, and that's good. I just think I'm too rusty to use that. I do a bit of both of normal manual shift selection and also allow the bike to do the quick shifting as well, or for me to go through the quick shifting. Sometimes the quick shift is very smooth and sometimes it just feels a little clunky, but I'm putting that down to rider error. This bike has heated seats for both the rider and the pillion. Not that we need it here in Perth, really. Even the winter months aren't that cold. The times I have used it, I haven't been overly impressed. It takes a good maybe half an hour for the heating to kick in. So if you only want to have a short run when you're commuting, and if it's cold, don't expect to be toasty warm on the bottom area. As for the rider modes, I don't particularly use them. I've got it in road mode pretty much 99.9% of the time. I've gone occasionally into the sport mode, but I don't particularly ride fast or anything, so I just leave it in road and it's fine for my needs. As for the electronic suspension, I've used that because you can soften and harden the suspension as well, just electronically by a flick of a switch. That works well. You have obviously the different modes when you have your pannier loads on, so yourself with panniers on, yourself alone, yourself with panniers and rider, pillion should I say. So that's all electronic, so you don't have to manually crank anything to make that work. I did have a small issue which I actually found out and rectified it myself. The bike for the last service, when it came back, I realised once I was indicating, I have my bike set to auto cancel, and with auto cancel you have a flick of the button to actually indicate 3 times and cancel, or you do a slightly longer press and then it will indicate for a further 65 meters and then cancel. When I was doing the short cancel, nothing was happening. It just maintained a longer cancel at 65 meters. So I thought there was a fault with the bike. So that was on the list for them to take a look at the dealership for a few those little warranty items I've mentioned. I hope they're warranty issues. I don't fancy paying for them. But I just thought, well, I'll check the settings. So as I mentioned, I have it in the auto settings, but there's 2 auto settings. There's auto and auto advanced. In auto advanced is those 2 settings with the short press and then the longer press. It was left in the auto setting, which meant that it was only on the auto cancel after 65 meters. And that's where I thought I was having the issue. So somebody, I'm not blaming anyone, but somebody changed my settings. How dare they? So once I've realised that, that indicating issue is not an issue. So that's pretty much it, I think, really. Yeah, it's a very comfortable bike to ride. I've had no major issues. If you're considering buying the Triumph Tiger GT or GT Pro, go for it. They're an exceptionally good bike all round. I've not done much off-roading. I don't particularly do off-roading, so I can't comment on that. But as I've mentioned, as for commuting, short rides out to the cafe on a weekend for your breakfasts, like me and my mate do, and for longer hauls and for trips and road trips, it's awesome. You won't go wrong. Obviously, don't take my word for it. Do more research as well. But for my opinion, this bike is brilliant. Very, very happy with it. Alright, I think that brings our little chit-chat to a close regarding the 12-month ownership of this bike. If you've enjoyed the video, then please consider subscribing. If you've liked the video and you found some value from it, then please give us a like, give it a thumbs up. How do? How do? Alright, well, thank you for your time, thank you for watching this, and hopefully, bye for now.